Let's talk business reality. Food manufacturers resist reformulation away from synthetic dyes primarily because of cost considerations and perceived risk. But when you examine actual case studies from companies that have made the transition, the economic argument against natural colors weakens considerably. Reformulation costs are real but manageable for most companies. You need product development time to identify suitable natural color alternatives, test stability and appearance, potentially adjust other ingredients to accommodate pH or temperature sensitivities, and validate shelf life. For a major product, this might represent 6 to 12 months of R&D work and testing. The direct costs vary, but typically run from tens of thousands to low hundreds of thousands of dollars per product reformulated. The ongoing ingredient cost differential is where manufacturers usually focus objections. Natural colors cost more per unit than synthetic dyes, sometimes substantially more. For a high-volume product, this can translate to meaningful annual cost increases. A cereal line producing millions of boxes yearly might see ingredient costs rise by several percentage points from switching to natural colors. However, several factors offset these costs. Consumer research consistently shows willingness to pay modest premiums for products with cleaner labels. Companies that reformulate with natural colors typically position this prominently on packaging and in marketing. That perceived value allows pricing adjustments that recover most or all of the increased ingredient costs. Some brands report that reformulation toward natural ingredients actually strengthens brand loyalty and drives sales growth beyond what pricing alone captures. Marketing and brand positioning opportunities represent underappreciated benefits. In an increasingly health-conscious market, especially among parents, naturally colored products can command shelf space and consumer attention that artificially colored competitors struggle to match. Several mid-sized manufacturers have used natural color reformulation as a key differentiator against larger competitors, successfully taking market share by positioning themselves as the cleaner alternative. Risk calculations also favor reformulation from a long-term perspective. Regulatory trends globally point towards stricter treatment of synthetic dyes. Consumer awareness continues growing. State-level legislation in the United States is emerging. Companies that reformulate proactively avoid being forced into reactive changes later under less favorable conditions. Early movers gain first-mover advantages in brand reputation, while laggards get painted as resistant to health concerns. The scale question matters. For small manufacturers with limited resources, reformulation represents a more substantial relative investment. But industry associations and ingredient suppliers have developed reformulation support programs specifically to help smaller players make transitions. The technical knowledge is increasingly accessible and the natural color supply chains have matured considerably. What's revealing is that companies operating in multiple markets, particularly those selling in both the US and Europe, already maintain reformulated versions. They've proven the economic feasibility by doing it. The argument that natural colors are economically prohibitive for the American market rings hollow when the same company successfully sells naturally colored products profitably elsewhere. The honest economic assessment is that synthetic dyes save money in the short term, but may cost companies more in the long run through reputation damage, regulatory risk, and market positioning disadvantages. Reformulation is an investment, not just a cost, and forward-thinking companies are making that investment before the market or regulators force their hand.